Let's get this party started.
Do we get this party started, guys?
I think so, man.
Well, welcome to the final episode of FAQ Friday with
Hey.
ESP, with your dedicated ESP crew. Danny O'Malley, Director of Marketing, Brandon Barton, VP of Dealer Support, Andy Schwartz, Head of Sales, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Gary Geets.
Don't enhance it too much, but thank you.
But well, I mean, what founder, CEO, genius. What other titles do we need to sprinkle it?
Okay, good. Write that down and mail it to me. I'd love to
Okay,
read that
perfect.
every morning.
I'll help you update your
Put a stamp on it.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank everybody here for joining us. And if you're watching this after the fact, that's okay too. We want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that good stuff. But before we close out the year, we have a final round of updates and just some cool stuff to look forward to 2026. And wanted to leave you with all that. But let's start off here and get to our agenda just so we can see what we're all about here. Final countdown. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We're going to be posting more good stuff over the break here. And we just wanted to give Gary a little bit of time for a little message.
Wow. Right out of the chute. You don't even let me warm up?
Nope.
No,
Okay.
you
Go, Gary.
you do your best work on your toes, Gary. We
Oh
know
yeah,
this.
there you go. That's right. As I thought about being on this today, I thought about the holiday season, and I've never had this thought before now, but it's interesting how there's three holidays that stack up against each other. The first one, of course, is Thanksgiving. The next one that comes across is all the religious holidays, including Christmas. And then right after that is New Year's. Now, if you think about that in order of what might be meaningful for us is to start with gratitude, start with thanks for these incredible relationships that we have, for this incredible opportunity to work together, for you incredible guys that are on this screen and the guys that are out in the field busting it every day. Just thank you. Thank you for the ESP family, all that every single person does to bring their best foot forward and try to make this thing work effectively. I'm just really profoundly grateful, and probably most is grateful for the great relationships with the remarkable people. And so let's cherish those. Let's be grateful for them. Then the next is there's a spiritual side to everything in this world, and a lot of it, and it doesn't matter what you necessarily believe as a religious point of view, but there's more going on here than it meets the eye. And it's great to make a paycheck. It's great to do this, but the karma and the good energy and all the good things that we do for each other just elevates everything. And so always remember that there's a deeper meaning behind everything. And I've learned that as I've gone through the years. It looks like this, but there's so much more going on that doesn't necessarily meet the eye that we should all be spiritually grateful for. And then the last thing is, I'm excited for the new year. We've had two pretty challenging years, and I think next year, I can't wait. I am so excited because it's a new beginning. It's a new start, and it's our opportunity to be thoughtful, to be creative, to think outside of the box, to bring discipline that we've never had to anything in our lives so that we can bring it every single day. We can be new creatures just because we get a new start. And I'm excited about the new year, and I might have gone on too long, but thank you. Appreciate all of you.
Well said, Gary. I knew you were going to drop some gold for us. So thank you. Maybe some gold and maybe even a little bit of frankincense and myrrh or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, something like that.
Go with all the chemicals, baby.
Spices.
I love it. Okay, well, thank you. And yeah, just to reiterate, we appreciate everybody, and thank you for sharing your gifts with us all this year, and we can't wait to keep doing it in the new year with you. And yeah, let's keep changing the world. I loved this. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend the holiday party, but I missed all of this amazing fun. And you can see we got our whole ESP fam. Well, part of the ESP fam, not the whole ESP fam, obviously, but had a great time there. And we're going to kick right off into some installs. We're wrapping up the year. We've got a bunch of installs wrapping up, and we're closing out some big ones here. We had another nice big one down in Texas. 37 days to site survey to install for a 10 kilowatt with Tesla. And then we beat it in California, 10 kilowatt with
Oh, come
two
on.
Teslas in 35 days.
That's what I'm talking about.
I messed up the kilowatt hours, Brandon. This is why we do so much editing, and I still didn't get that math right. I'm sorry, guys.
13 plus 13 and a half
13 plus
is
13. Yes.
27.
Times two. That's I forgot to move the times two over to here, and that's what that's supposed to be. So,
Well,
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Brandon.
No. Go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say you're seeing these if you remember the orange bag from our episode a couple times ago with Mr. Thacker. He was talking about our meter collars and our or whatever the Tesla one is for it, meter port socket, whatever they call it.
Switch.
Yep, the switch. Thank you. That's making it just such a clean install, and really again there's so much less equipment on the side of the house here. It's really clean looking. I think it's pretty great. So
A good note on that is a lot of customers think the job's not done yet when they see that bag of wires hanging off the meter. It's actually being done. So like let your homeowner know there's going to be a bag of wires hanging off there because they might think it's incomplete along the way, and they might say my dog chewed up all these wires, or there was a toy hanging from there, or someone forgot some tools, or you name it. So let your homeowners know like this is on purpose. This is actually for your benefit, and everybody's winning there. So just a heads up.
Absolutely. And guys, like Texas is typically our fastest market. Actually, it is like not even just typically, but it all is based on homeowner communication and rep interaction. So the reason we put these two side by side is Cali, we're getting faster, as you can see. The meter collar helps a lot, but then it was the homeowner interaction. So get that homeowner to reply as quick as possible, and we're going to get that glass on the roof even quicker.
yeah, absolutely. Great question in the Q&A. Do meter collars help negate the need for an MPU? I would say frequently, but not always. It
Correct.
depends. But yes, generally, I mean, one of the headaches that you for sure see with MPUs is just how long they take. These do speed that up quite significantly when we're able to use that when we want to deploy them. So yeah, absolutely. And
Imagine not having to do the meter spot and wait for the utility to show up and check the meter, and then having to actually schedule the MPU as well. So you're eliminating those two things along the way. But again, the city and the AHJ have to be cool with it, and the utility all at the same time. So, but good question.
it is becoming a thing across the country as well. And so as we see more and more AHJs and utilities familiarize themselves with it and say, oh yeah, this is a good thing. We can work with that. We jive. So yeah, no, thank you. And just as a reminder, use the Q&A for anything along the way. We'll hit you back with an answer if we can get to it. So
yeah,
thank you. All right, we got the agenda here. Just going over a few updates, reminders. Thank you, Gary, again for being here. You've heard our special guest star, but then we have some other just housekeeping stuff for the most part, and then some more motivation along the way, I think, just to help kind of close everybody out for 2025 and kick off 2026 with a bang.
Sir.
Here's our hours. We will be closed half day on Christmas Eve. Next Wednesday, we will be closed all day on Christmas, 25th. We will be open on New Year's Eve. The following weekend, we will be closed all day on New Year's Day. Pretty standard. And always as a reminder, know your local AHJ, know the hours of where your customers are as well. If you have anybody that's in kind of that home stretch there, just double check on, what those individual city offices and all that are going to be. They usually put it out on their website or things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So what you're saying, Danny, is if you reach out to your ESP project manager on New Year's Day and you don't get a response, it's probably a reason.
There's probably a reason for that. You could say that. All right. Speaking of AHJs and things like that was a terrible segue. I'm sorry, guys. It's the end of the year, whatever. We're just going to roll with it. We wanted to remind you, Solar App Plus, one more time. These are territories where the pre-install phase can go lightning fast compared to others. And we really, really, really encourage you to work in these AHJs, sell there whenever possible. the link to find out which cities are offering it, and look at the checklist of kind of what projects are what the project scope is allowed for Solar App Plus in those cities. Very easy to read. You just look up, hey, yeah, I'm going to be selling in Berkeley, or I'm going to be selling in Brentwood, or what have you, and know your stuff, know where you're headed, know that you're going to be able to get it through quick.
Yeah, Danny, if I had a team and I had new recruits for 2026, I would make sure that they're focusing on these cities. That's how they're going to get paid faster. You got to make sure they have money in their pocket, food on their plate, mortgages to pay, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, rather than you saw 37 days for an install, could be that quick versus the alternative, which might be closer to 45 or 60 days, depending on that AHJ. So this is so important, guys. We've hit it every single week now for what, over a month?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we're saying it. Just this is a winning thing. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you nailed it, Brandon, too. If you've got a team, 1000% use this as a blitz planning for the new year. This is going to be your easiest way to score some early wins quick in, you know, traditionally maybe everybody feels like it's seasonal, it's a slower season. You can still get these rocketing through. It doesn't matter time of year.
Yeah. Use the ones with all the check marks on the line.
All the way across, as many as
If it's
possible.
missing a check mark under the MPU, then that means it cannot be Solar App Plus.
Right. That does kick it into the
all out of that system. Same thing goes with the D rate on the far right. So if you're working in the cities, like let's say Blythe, that has all the check marks, speedy permits. Let's go.
Game on.
Yep. Love it. Okay. Well, Brandon, you were gracious enough to reach out to everybody and hold them to the fire and say, "Give me some good stuff. What do you got for me?" So you rounded up a bunch of really awesome updates from all of our lenders. So what do we got? What are we hearing?
Well, I mean, first off, we pair with some amazing lenders, ones that are healthy in the industry. So that way we can, you know, count on them for pay. So that way we can get that down to transcend it down to our partners, right? So yeah, I do what I do best, contacted each lender, seeing what's on the horizon. And man, there's some really cool stuff. So let's start with LightReach here. You know, at this point, their market share, they're claiming number 2 in the industry. And that is factual. We double checked the records. LightReach is great. They have some really cool things coming in the beginning of 2026. In fact, already announced is the standalone battery package. So as we work with Aurora and the integration, we should see that opportunity here coming soon. Yes, we'll have to beta test it before we roll it out, but this is going to be an excellent option for you guys. In Texas, we have a VPP program. It's called Grid Plus with LightReach. It's their ability to try and zero out the utility bill or actually close it out. It's a 1-to-1 solar buyback where you get $40 per kilowatt monthly battery credit. So this is going to be a pretty cool feature if you're selling in Texas. I know many of us are selling in California, but this opportunity is out there. January, we are going to see a new pricing matrix with LightReach. So they want to stay as competitive in the market. You know, GoodLeap, Enfin, LightReach, they're all asking for your business. How do they do that? They got to stay good on their pricing, good on their word. And then late Q1, this is really cool. Prepaid lease release. Say that 3 times fast, Danny.
Prepaid lease release. Yeah.
So we've been looking for that prepaid option. Sunrun offers it. There's a few others out there, but LightReach is going to join the party. And talking about joining parties, Second Systems, guys, drum roll. We've always leaned on Enfin for these Second Systems, but that's not always the best route to go for a homeowner, right? So now competition is stirring. And LightReach is going to be able to offer this here soon. They're starting in Hawaii, and California will be second.
Cool.
That very exciting stuff. And also plug, go directly to the source. We're relaying what we've gathered from these partners, but absolutely sign up for their webinars as well. There's always some really useful stuff that comes out. Sign up for Aurora's webinar. They announce trainings and new features and all that kind of stuff. And we're usually close behind on getting all those implemented, if we don't already have them. And yeah, Lightreach has dropped some awesome updates in their webinars. So definitely super plug for staying on top of it by hearing directly from them.
Good stuff.
Good Leap. We had an awesome meeting with Emily this week. Emily's our account rep over there. She's great. We've worked with her for years now. And I'm giving her the credit for trademarking stability is sexy. That's her phrase. So Good Leap is definitely one of the strongest players in the industry. They've been around for a long time. She said straight to us, we've got equipment for our big partners like you, like ESP, and we have the money to be able to pay the partners who sell with Good Leap. That may not sound like mind-blowing news, but it kind of is. Like there's been some struggles with various outlets. It's no secret, but Good Leap is definitely good for it. So,
Any question? Was she talking about you, saying you appear to be stable and sexy, or was she talking about the product?
no, I can only claim about 50% of that at a time, Gary. I don't have an off switch for the good looks and charm. So, but the stability side of it.
Just checking in. Okay.
Thank you for that.
You know what was surprising to me, Danny? Good Leap, right? They have 11 lines of revenue, guys, and solar is only 12% of their overall business.
Yeah, that's right. What is she, 12 to 15% or something like that? So yeah,
exactly. How crazy is that? And that just proves how stable they are. No matter what happens in the market, they have a shift that can go with it. And you're right, like panels, procurement, prepping for DC content, all that stuff. Good Leap's on it. So I love working with them. Not much more to improve on there.
For sure. Yeah, no, the feeling is mutual. We were saying that, you know, we like playing with people who play well with others, and so does Good Leap. And so yeah, that's why we're really strong with them. As far as things coming, they also have a VPP coming up in Texas. Texas is definitely going to be a big market for the sales. Yeah, huge. I mean, that's really where you want to lean into the energy independence. Yes, savings are always going to be on the table there, and that's going to be top of mind for people. But Texas, well, really everywhere for that matter, but anywhere that has such frequent issues with grid stability, lean into those programs where it's like, hey, they will pay you to get a backup battery. That's kind of cool, right? Like that's a great selling point. So use it. And then last but not least, we have our friends over at Enfin. They got a nice round of updates for us. Brandon, you'd spoke with them most recently.
I did, yeah. And so here's the cool part. They're really on the you ask, we listened mentality right now. They want to improve, and that makes me feel warm in the heart, right? The rep portal update, that's anticipated early Q1 right now. It's milestone achievement, seeing what's their verbiage is a little off, right? So they're cleaning that up. So rep portal is going to be updated. Good news is they're not taking away the second systems. That will continue to be approved. And this is a friendly reminder. I can't bold it any more than this, but there are no multi-tariff or non-export opportunities with Enfin. If you're doing a second system, the previous systems and the new system will all be on NetMeter 3.0.
Oh.
Okay, so that is very important to know. Now, if you're looking for a multi-tariff, non-export solution, not to make this confusing, but cash, yes. Good Leap load, yes. Those are your two options. And if you have any clarity that's needed there, contact us. We got you covered. Pricing update is also happening, right? So we talked about Lightreach, updating their pricing matrix. Enfin is doing the same. So they're exploring options, and that way you and the homeowner can save more money together for 2026. Also, that welcome call, horrendous. It's been the worst ever. So bad. Andy, it's so bad, and you know this too firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, they won't even share the call with me. I want to hear it, right? So with that being said, guys, we know that you've been out there trying to sell their product, and it almost sounds like they're scaring the homeowner off. They understand where sales is coming from on that. So they took all 30 questions and narrowed it down to 13 total, and they're pretty easy to handle. So if you were scared of Enfin before, I would encourage you guys to try them again and see what that experience is like. And then auto emails, right, at every milestone. So anytime the homeowner signs, if anything is needed, steps cleared, documents uploaded, utility bills, anything to that nature, you're going to get all of those emails sent to you. It might be a lot, but I'd rather communication rather than none, right? Being left in the dark is difficult. So
Absolutely. Well, plug to our PM concierge crew. I mean, they've done a great job of keeping everybody up to date, but it is not automatic. That is a human who is reaching out. So this is just a nice little fallback of, yes, we've confirmed your project has reached these, milestones, and that's just a nice reassurance for the homeowner, right? That's another thing to lean on of just saying, yeah, hey, everybody's in lockstep. Everything's moving forward the way it ought to, as expected. So
good call, Andy.
All right, what do we have on the horizon now? We've got a few cool things coming, but as always, we want to make sure we're keeping it simple and serving our partners as best we can. So a few of these are industry updates that we are adapting to. And so these are going to be things that are across the country, basically. The domestic content requirement is going up to 50%. And FIOC compliance is going to be a new thing.
FIOC.
Yay, another acronym. I was just I was like, man, we haven't come up with a new 3 or 4 letter, acronym for a while. So I'm so glad that they nipped this in the bud with all this legislation earlier this year. The foreign entity of concern, basically what that means is we have to make sure, and generally this isn't a problem for ESP. We've always leaned into, domestic made or as close to, friendly turf as possible. But anytime a project has, greater than 40%, I believe, for PV only, and greater than 50%, something like that. I didn't burn the exact percentage in, but basically, if any of those or the bulk of those components are coming from any foreign actors that are concerning, that has to put a damper on it, and they're not going to be able to move those projects forward. So not to call anything out specifically, but there have been a few headlines about like people finding, hey, this is weird. I have this strange transmission device in my Chinese inverter. What does that do?
It's TikTok.
Yeah, Andy, do you think they're just hooking everybody up to TikTok and just make it? They just want content. It's just social media.
It's just more content. Yeah,
that's all it is. They're just doing it for the likes. There's no other like nefarious options in there. But
yeah. A few of you guys might have noticed in the last few slides that Brandon had that pricing matrix may be changing or will be changing, are actually changing. The things that are affecting that are the domestic content rules, the FIOC compliance rules, right? Those partnerships are going to continue to thrive, but we're going to need to be amiable and move and bend and weave throughout the year. So you will see pricing both change, probably for the better and for the worse, depending on what time of the year it is and what's going on with both panel allocation, inverter allocation, battery procurement, all those fun things. So we're staying on top of it. We're right here with you. We've got great partnerships, like Brandon said before in the last few slides, with all of our banks and lenders and different things out there. And our distributors also super importantly. So if you're wondering what's going on behind the scenes, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of weird stuff.
Whole lot.
So good stuff. Sorry, Brant. I wanted to jump in there, Dano.
Yeah, no worries, man. Of course, please chime in. Yeah, and as far as on the stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, speaking of, we have some really cool updates going on as far as tools and platform enhancements and things that are just going to make your life easier in many, 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 many ways. One of the big ones that we've been working on recently is the AI integration for our projects. And that's basically just keeping you, Brandon, again, shout out to Brandon for a little catchphrase here, on the go and in the know. That's what we want to make sure that when you're out in the field, you don't necessarily have to like call or email or chat in. It's like, oh, what's going on with this project? You should be able to just go in and say, what's up? And the AI will do a quick scrub of everything and say, all right, here's where we're at. This is what's expected. This is how far we've moved through the process. This is your next steps. We, estimate it should be around this time for completion, all that. we really want to make sure that it's just another confidence booster for you, and so you don't have to keep all this on the back burner. You can just say, all right, I'm moving forward. I know that we got it going on. And then, of course, more Aurora updates on the way. Again, plug to tune into their webinars, but we are going to be making big commitments to work with them on a lot of projects. So,
Oh yeah.
and then financing options. Brandon, we kind of covered these, but
Yeah, we did. So we know how important prepaid PPAs are going to be a thing, right? Homeowners are still going to want to like get it in bulk at a discount, right? That's what happens. It's the Costco of PPAs. That's how I phrase it. And it truly is.
There's going to be some new options with the prepaid PPAs as well, being able to pay for it in a few different ways, aka finance a prepaid PPA or different types of things like that. We're looking at all the best partnerships for those because there are a few of them out there, and we want to try and choose the best ones for you and your homeowners. We got to
And-
be careful there because there are some squirrely banks these days.
Andy's been a connoisseur of the prepaid PPA for many years now. That was one of your first, right?
Yeah, 17 years ago, I sold the prepaid PPA and LADWP, and it was the best deal ever.
There you go.
The customer still calls me and is like, that was a good deal, Andy, because his kilowatt hour price ended up being like 7 cents.
Yep.
It was wild.
So
Amazing.
funny that's your first deal 17 years ago. That was my first deal 11 years ago.
Nice.
So cool. That's how good it is. We just got to do it the right way, like you said. You
Yeah.
got to trust the finance partners.
It's great stuff. And Gary, I feel bad we don't leave any room on what's next for ESP on the slide here, but do you have anything, any little nuggets that you'd like to share with us? Anything else that comes to mind for exciting news on the horizon for ESP?
No, I mean, probably the biggest thing for me is that I couldn't be more pleased with the improvements that we've made internally at ESP over the last 4 months. You know, we've reinvented ourselves for the 15th time, but I feel like we finally dialed it in, especially from a project management point of view, moving projects through a system, making sure we know who to talk to. And so the whole intention has always been, how do we serve our sales partners better? And I feel like this is one big step in the right direction, and we will never stop trying to get better. You know, a great construction company is always under construction, and we will continue to build and grow and get better and better, and especially in partnership with all of you.
That's great. Yes, absolutely. Huge shout out to our project managers. We've been loving all the love that you're sending. Keep it coming. And yeah, Gary, I always like you shared a few times ago, but the delta between where we are and where we want to be, and just narrowing that every possible time. And you're going to be, bouncing a little bit. There's going to be ups and downs if it's a vertical pizza slice, but we're always going to be narrowing that. It's going to be getting closer and closer and closer. It may not ever touch, but it's every single.
When the commitment is perfection, it won't ever touch.
It won't ever happen.
To keep getting better and better is the excitement of the game. Is, how do you close that gap between what you want to be and who you are today, and don't live in a dream world. And we can get better. And I can't wait for every step as we improve.
Love it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay. And then what's on the horizon for you, for our friends, our dealer partners? What do we got? We know that everybody is different. Everybody's structured your own way. You've got your own motivations, your own, your goals, your desires, all that kind of stuff. But we felt like just compiling a few of the things that we know works to help get your teams fired up and make sure that you're on the path to success. We put all these together. Brandon, you put almost all of these in place. So love for you to elaborate.
Well, I mean, I ran a team at one point, right? And I think there's self-reflection that you got to do. You got to look in the mirror and make sure, you're the leader, right? You lead by example and people watch you. So there's accountability there. And I don't want to jump around the slide too much, but you got to address what worked for your company or for yourself and what didn't. Write that down. I know all of us on this call, Gary, Danny, Andy, we all write things down nonstop, and we hold ourselves accountable to make sure that we can impact the goals that we set in a positive way. And if you fall short, it's okay, right? But you got to make sure that you find a solution for future, right? And then you also need to compliment those who did adapt to the changes. We went through a lot this last year. So, right? I mean, you got to compliment them. It wasn't easy for anyone to just go from, hey, I sell loans and only loans. Now you got to sell a PPA. Let me read that agreement. Why is it good? I can't tell you how many people are like, why wasn't I selling a PPA sooner? You got to step outside your comfort zone. So that's what I challenge all you guys on this call today. Get in tune with the new 2026 solar industry, right? And PPAs is where it's at. New year, new us. Start now. Like, you don't have to wait for the new year, right? Like, I know health and getting into the gym and doing that. Like, why wait to the new year to start doing your 20 push-ups a day or 100 push-ups a day? Start today. You'll find out that a new you, when you look in that mirror, is going to be like rewarding. So set those goals. And I think what's important is make them achievable goals. And then also make sure you set aside those stretch goals, because if they're achievable, great, you did it, right? But if you don't challenge yourself hard enough and set stretch goals, you won't know what you're capable of. And that's what I love about ESP. Gary, you said it yourself. We made a lot of changes on the project management side, and we set a stretch goal, and we're there, man. I'm really, really happy with that. Those goals do need to be monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So set KPIs, key performance indicators. Make sure that you're like on tracking, right? That's very important. And then schedule those trainings to help your team get to those goals that they told you they want to achieve. Andy and I were talking this morning, and the best way to improve your selling style is to role play. Like role play. Take your seat back to back, homeowner and rep, and create your objections. Make objection cards, the ones that you get the most, and make sure that you can spit fire quickly, because you got to know what to say and at the right time.
Yeah. If I could just jump in, Brandon, real quick. I love the new year, new us kind of thing. Many of you have heard me say hope is not a strategy. I hope I sell 2 deals this week. I hope I make 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand this year. I hope I get 100 installs. I hope I do this. Hoping is one thing, but doing is another. Do the backwards math. So if you want to make X amount of dollars, figure out how many deals you need to have installed in order to get that amount, and figure out how many doors or how many appointments do I need to be in with my closing rate of X, and let's say it's 50% or 70% if you're awesome, then you'll know, and you can figure out what to do, not only weekly and monthly or yearly, but like daily. What are you going to do today, right? Use this downtime between, our seasonality that we call it, of like between Christmas and New Year's. They call it like the dead week or something like that. I don't know, Danny, you might know what the actual word is, but use this time to plan for 2026. Use this time to look forward and figure out what you want to do. And then if you have questions, if you're curious about like, is this possible? What do you think about this plan? Ask Brandon and I. We're happy to help out. I know Gary is. I could call Gary any day and be like, hey, dude, I need some help doing this. What do you think about this idea? And you'll give me the true and honest breakdown. And then not only that, but help me figure out what it is that I want to try and solve. So use this time now, plan for 2026. Just don't walk into or crawl into or run into 2026 without a plan or an idea. There's my rant. It's over.
I love it.
And,
Love it.
Gotcha.
Andy, I had to Google it to verify.
What's it called? What's it called?
This is good stuff, man. This is actually great. So yes, Dead Week is one of the things that you can call it. You can also call it Twixmas. You can also call it Romjul, which is a Norwegian concept for time. Or you can call it Feral Week.
Yeah, that's right. Feral Week. That's what I was thinking, because everyone goes feral and no one's like, you're trying to work, but you're not working, but everybody's working, but you're still on. The banks are kind of closed and opened.
Yeah,
that's right. Feral Week.
But to put it in context of what Brandon was saying, go feral on your goals now. Don't
Yeah.
wait until the new year. The gym is empty this time of year. You can get a head start. You can start hitting the gym, hitting the racks and everything.
Don't wait till the first.
Don't wait till the first.
Start
It's gonna be great. You're gonna be like, get out of my way, man. I'm people knocking into you with dumbbells and stuff. No, do it now and get into the rhythm so that you can you can get ahead of the competition and start really like you were saying, Andy, like do the backwards math, start testing yourself and really reflecting on what you know you're capable of and maybe trying something saying, I don't know if I'm capable of this. So let's see what I can do. And then using that as your baseline to grow and grow and grow. That's the only way to get better, really.
Yeah, love it. Thanks for finding that out, Danny. Appreciate it.
This is a learning podcast. We're educational. But yeah. And also Brandon, back to you, but setup trainings. I'll skip ahead to the end here. Setup trainings with Brandon. He's going to help you do all of that we just said. So
I'm not trying to throw this out there, but most of the teams that have higher closing percentages and better workflow through their projects, it's because they scheduled training with me. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but man, you should see what you can get out of seeing what someone else has. I guess like knowledge of, right? We all learn from each other in this space. And if you guys continually just work together, you don't really get to see an outside perspective. So set up trainings. Let's go through Aurora. It's ever changing. So you got to get those updates, talk tracks, and man, there's so much more. Referrals. I think that's what I'm best at is the referral game because I wasn't always a strong closer. I was a B-back closer. Shame on me, but that's okay. But referrals is where it's at. Those are the easier closes. So again, hit me up. I'd love to spend 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours. I don't care. And I'll meet you in person if we can make that happen too.
Cool.
And like that reminds me of probably what Michael Jordan said to the Bulls, hey, if you just let me help you, we might do better, right?
There's a common denominator. People who passed the ball to Michael Jordan.
Turns out that worked.
Yeah, that worked out. It worked out okay for them, I think.
Make sure.
All right. Well, if you're following us on social media, you already saw the reel here. Plug that. Go check it out right now. We're having fun, but in every one of these, I feel like there's a nugget of truth and definitely something to take away here. So I was having fun with, again, our Christmas theme. What's your selling style? Are you the drummer boy? Are you the Krampus? Or are you the Rudolph? And drummer boy came to mind just because this is going back. The last time I was buying my car. I drive a Chevy Volt. Love it. It's powered by the sun and a hybrid. I love that car. But I had to shop around because it was as the model year was going, like they were ending production of it. So I had to go to a lot of different pre-owned places and give my information to a bunch of different used car salesmen. And as you can probably imagine, that was irritating as hell. I had a guy call me, no joke, 4 times back to back in like a 5-minute period. I am a proponent of the double tap. I think that works fine. But if you're ringing me 4 times and I didn't pick up the second time, get out of here, man. I blocked his number immediately. I was like, we're done with this. You cannot sell me anything at this point.
No wonder I can't reach you, Danny. Shit.
Don't triple tap or quadruple tap Danny because he'll never answer. But you can double tap.
You're cut out of my life.
Can't triple tap a double tap.
So, but again, there is value in persistence, but you have to have a rhythm. You have to just make sure you're finding that for yourself and for your customer. Figure out what they're gonna respond to. So.
That's right.
Absolutely. And then the Krampus one, you know me, I love mythology and folklore. So if you're not familiar with the Krampus, that's a fantastic film, by the way. Watch it every year for Christmas. So the way that a lot of reps have sold in the past, I think, is very fear-based. And that's definitely true in a lot of industries outside of solar as well. Like I'm just thinking of generators. When you're selling a generator to, or when you're looking at the like marketing out there for a lot of these whole home backup generators, it is 100% oh my God, the grid's going down. What are you going to do? Your family is going to be your house is going to explode because you don't have electricity. That's not reliable. That's not a way to really build a connection. You're going to scare more people away than you actually get them to sign on the dotted line. And you're going to maybe give them cold feet for the people who do sign. So find those pain points, seek out what matters to your customer. If backup power is a huge selling point for them and they want to be prepared for the end of the world, great. Battery backup works. It's a fantastic offering. Andy, you're up in the hills. You deal with all kinds of folks out there, right?
Oh yeah, power goes out all the time. It's crazy. Yeah, everybody needs some sort of backup. It's more of just the reality rather than like the fear of like the steaks in my fridge going bad. But it's definitely one way to look at it. If you got a lot of steak in the fridge and you know the power's going out, you definitely want something.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you always want to, again, that's why the rapport building is so important on every single sale, just so you can really get to the bottom of what's going down. I'm thinking back to, some of my early sales in Idaho. People hated the utility and they were convinced that the government was going to shut down everything any day.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, okay, we can work with that. That's fine. We can use that because that matters to them. But if that is the only quiver in or the only arrow in your quiver, the only style in your playbook, you got to adapt. You got to be able to back up and be realistic. So
yeah.
And then lastly, the Rudolph. Brandon, I know that I find you to be a very Rudolph-esque character. Has nothing to do with your physical appearance or anything like that. Your mentality, the way that you're able to just cut through and say, let's get to the core of this, right?
I stay positive, and I know the reasons to go solar, right? I appreciate the compliment too. I not like being called Rudolph.
Randolph.
Brandolph. Thank you. I'll be
There you go.
Brandolph. New nickname coming in 2026. Brandolph.
I think the key in this phrase is you will win with this this method.
Yeah.
Right. In the end, if that homeowner is not going forward, you need to write down what you said during that meeting and then focus on what might have created more confusion that led to like not signing. Right. And every time you do this, and this goes back to following the script, I am a firm believer in a script. Stick to it so that way you can track your methods, and when you find that method, you will be Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Choose your style, everyone.
Yep.
I know which one you're picking, Brandolph.
I'm gonna keep coming, man. I already got like the next 3 months of these planned out. Don't worry. We're gonna keep this going. So
Holiday
stay
selling
tuned for
styles.
these. Follow us on Instagram. Keep these coming. If you have any ideas, if you think of something funny, I would love to give you credit for thinking of something funnier than me. I think I'm pretty funny, but definitely open to hearing from our partners and friends and everything like that. So get out there. All right. And then lastly, we got things to think about. We have the king of things to think about himself, Gary, on the call, but your son, my boss, Dallin, said something on our call at the beginning of the week that I just really loved. I was like, I got to put that in here this time around. And he said, the minute you're a taker, the universe starts to withhold. And the only way to get past that is give.
So good. So timely.
Yeah.
Well said, Dallin.
Well said, Dallin. Thanks, Dallin. Yeah. What do you guys think? What are some other things to think about that we can wrap up this our final episode of the year here?
We had a few mentions on our Q&A, just saying thank you guys for an excellent last FAQ. So Sam Perez, if you're out there and you're still listening, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Goes a long way because there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, like we said earlier. So when someone gives us a compliment, we know we're heading in the right direction. So thanks for that.
My gosh, I didn't realize my old banker is now one of our reps.
Yeah. Hi, Silviano. Thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Roll, buddy. Hope
Gary's your old friend.
Wow, that's amazing. That's cool.
Mandy, thank you too. We appreciate you, man. You and your team, they've been great.
Yeah, I think a special shout out to all of the reps out there, all of the setters and closers, all of the team managers, all of the dealers that are our partners, both internally, externally, and all over the place. There's a special place in our heart. We couldn't do this without you. You couldn't do this without us. This is a true partnership. And that's really what we're building. And that's
Yeah.
what we've always wanted to build as energy service partners, is just that. It's those partnerships. And
Insane.
so
That's
during
what it
this
says on the
time
label.
of like, happy thinking and being thankful and lots of love and all that stuff. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you.
Thank you all.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Hanukkah. Cover all your bases.
Yeah. Happy holidays and stuff, Mus.
Enjoy the rest of the day, guys.
Enjoy your feral week, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you all.
Thanks, everybody.